This week's Michigan Lottery Excellence in Education winner is Larry Lambert with Duke Ellington Conservatory of Music and Art. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
We have a video from your nominator. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Hello. I nominated Larry Lambert as an excellent educator because of the dedication that he has with the students. He works tirelessly to make sure that they have everything that they need to be successful in not only his class, but in other classes throughout the school. And it's not just the students that appreciate him, his colleagues appreciate him, and even some of the older students that have graduated and moved on have come back and showed appreciation to him. And I just feel like that is the classic example of somebody who makes a positive impact and who influences those young minds to be great minds. And that's why I nominated Mr. Lambert.
All right.
What goes through your mind when you watch that?
A lot of things, the 29-year journey, through education, being able to foster education in my classroom, the effect that, you have, the positive effect that you might have on your students, the parents, colleagues, as well as my administrators. So all positives around the board for education, especially in Detroit Public Schools, community district. It is just a blessing, to be able to be nominated and appreciated. That's one of the things that comes to mind. I get a little choked up, but I can fight the tears back. All right.
Well, and especially you're an art teacher,
Right.
and you work with visual arts. And so, when you see kids really enjoying art, that must do something for your soul.
It does. You get an opportunity. Some of the students come in with a heavy talent of art, and then you have those students who are in the middle, and then some are on the end. And just to be able to impart that, get them to be able to do certain things artistically, and it's about self-accomplishment, being able to connect to the students, as well as see their artwork. I've had some fabulous students over the years, and seeing their artwork come to life, and then that confidence that builds as well.
Yeah. Tell me what it's like for you when you're inspired by the students. So tell me what that's like for you to be inspired by the students.
So, I guess my daily connection to the students is that I sit there and I work with the students all the time. So it's like we're at a table, we're doing our artwork, we're connected, being able to see them, the kind of switches go off in their heads to make connections to things that they might may have started off and didn't know how to do at first. One of the things that all my students want to learn how to do is do some kind of form of rendering or drawing. So that connection, to be able to visually take something that's in their head and then get it right on paper and be able to impart it the way that they want to, that is probably one of the most rewarding things I've done, when I work with my students.
Yeah. Tell me why you wanted to be an art teacher.
My mom, is one who kind of encouraged me visually to get into the arts. I went back to school to get my secondary degree, my master's from Marygrove College, and it was just a connection that she was like, well, you have a gift, so you should be able to, enhance it, and then also teach it to other generations. So that was probably the biggest influence, my family, my mom, especially my sister as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, seeing your students explore and develop their own talents, what is one thing that really stands out to you in that aspect?
There's not really one thing. It's this combination of just being able, my students show up every day. They give me that positive energy. They showcase their skill level in my classroom, being able to connect with them and actually talk to them and just be able to impart the art, actually to be able to see their art grow. I've had students win awards. That's not the biggest thing. However, that is one of the things that I, love to see them do. And then also that acknowledgement to go ahead and say, okay, I can connect to this, I can do this, especially when you know you don't have the confidence in the very beginning to do it. You know?
Art funding is being cut all over the place. You know, how important is art in these students' lives?
Well, you know what, it's essentially important because without the arts, you know, I wouldn't be in the classroom, you know, because that was my connection to education. I believe that one of the things that the art, you know, when you look around, you know, I complimented you on the way you dressed, your glasses, things that people don't pick up on sometimes. You know, art is very essential. You know, you think about architecture, you think about, you know, just car design. You know, we're in a state where if you look around, you see all the vehicles, it's a heavy art element in those vehicles. So anything that you can basically think about, art is in there. Yeah, some kind of art, you know. And then you talk about the art and the media, and et cetera, et cetera. So I can go on and on forever. I know we don't have that.
I always ask everyone this question. You run into a student 20 years from now. What do you hope that they say to you about their experience in your classroom?
Well, I mean, I run into my former students all the time. And I just think, hopefully that the connections, I've had this happen. So I've had students, you know, bump into me. Hey, Mr. Lambert, it was one student during the pandemic. I had my mask on where I was getting my vehicle clean, and he heard my voice and recognized my voice with the mask on. And he turned around and he basically complimented on me on how big of an influence I was with him at that particular point in time. And then the things at that time he didn't grasp, but now he's a grown man. He could, you know, kind of connect with. So it has happened, but I just want them to be able to say, you know, Mr. Lambert really, really cared when I was there. He imparted in as much confidence in me that I may didn't have in myself, maybe didn't have in myself at that particular point in time, and able to just connect to a skill set that maybe I saw that the student didn't see.
Well, thank you for what you do. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Larry receives a $1,500 check from the Michigan Lottery, and his class at Duke Ellington Conservatory of Music and Art at Beckham Academy receives a $500 grant. Excellence in Education Award sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, providing more than $27 billion to public education since 1972.